Welcome guys to a brand new video on Black Clover Mobile. So in today's video I want to talk about two new characters that are going to be coming out in a couple of days that I want to make a video on whether or not you should summon. And honestly guys, based on all the leaks we have, information we have, it is looking like an easy skip with those two characters. So we have a sneak peek over here, and as you can tell, this is Yuno over here and the other character is Langris. Now I can't lie to you guys, both of these characters are actually pretty good. It's not like the season 3 characters we have right now, which it's not like it's an easy skip technically. However, with Yuno and Langris, you guys might actually be tempted to summon for them, but because we know of future banners and whatnot, I can't lie to you guys, it's an easy skip. We know Black Asta is coming very soon on the 12th of February. Black Asta is coming out, so honestly guys, we need to be saving resources for Black Asta, and we're still gonna have our 6-month anniversary, so half-year anniversary. We're going to have that in the future, which you probably want to summon for the character. Many people are guessing it's going to be merely Yuno when she comes out in the JP version, and then in the half-year anniversary they will give us that as well for global. That's pure speculation right now, but the fact that we have Black Asta coming on the 12th of February, I can't lie guys, it's looking like an easy skip. So we're going to be taking a look at both Langris over here as well as the Yuno Golden Dawn over here. And honestly guys, you see the ratings that they give them. I actually am gravitated towards pulling Yuno more than pulling for Langris. Now once again, I say it's an easy skip because Black Asta is coming out for those of you guys who want to summon for him, but it's still like a tempting banner to summon for. Langris is actually a pretty good character. It says it's an attacker, but if you take a look at his skills, it's more like a buffer slash debuffing character as well. So like he's actually pretty good in both PvE and PvP. And then when you take a look at Yuno over here, he is a PvP character. Now he has an ability that honestly makes me want to get him, that it's actually pretty good. Okay, so first of all, we're going to take a look at Langris. So before I carry on with the video guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, stay tuned for more content on Black Clover Mobile. If you guys don't want to miss out on future content on the game, make sure that post notification is on. And if you guys enjoyed this video, then go ahead and show your support by liking the video. So Langris is a sense type character, and if you take a look at what he does, so he has an ability to increase SP points by 1 from his skill 1. That's pretty good, but not really that amazing, I guess. Okay, in PvE this is actually pretty good, especially if you're going against like bosses. This is actually a pretty good ability. So like a raid, you could potentially use him. That SP buff is actually pretty good. And if you take a look at his skill 2, this is also another buffing ability. Sacrifice 2 of a designated ally's SP to grant a SP plus 2 buff. Okay, 45% chance to inflict a 20% reduced healing received to the designated ally. Grants self an increased speed level 3 buff for 2 turns. So HP recovery reduction. So 45% of chance to inflict to the designated ally. Is this a mistake? Why would we want to do this to our ally? Okay, confusing. Grant self an increased speed buff for 2 turns. Now this is actually going to be very good. Actually not really, this is only to himself actually. The thing is though, you want to be using his like special this skill over here, and then sometimes you want to use his combination attack. The thing I like about Langris is the fact that he can actually dispel barrier, and once again dispel barrier is actually extremely strong in PvP because a lot of units have, well, lots of the top tier teams have barriers, and you want a character that can help you remove the barrier. So having this ability is actually quite good. If you take a look at his LR passive, when HP is below 30%, grants an immortality buff to himself. So if you take a look at his special skill, inflicts block HP recovery on an enemy for 2 turns. This is AoE as well. Now this is extremely strong in PvP, especially if you're going against teams with like healers. For example, the Mimosa, the season 2 Mimosa. This is actually quite good. Granted all allies a 20% increased favorable damage buff. Once again, this is also a very good ability in both PvE and PvP, and then inflicts a reduced HP recovery level 3 debuff on the enemy for 2 turns. Once again, very strong in PvP, and then grants debuff immunity to self for 2 turns. And at the start of the battle, grants a SP plus 2 buff to this is you know, when you have 2 dupes on him. Now I do like his ability, but I can't lie, I kind of lean towards summoning for Yuno a little bit more than Langris. Don't get me wrong, he's a great like buffer, I guess you could call him, but he's a sense type, which is we do have Vandras, right? Vandras is a green type, right? Where's Vandras? Oh no, he's not. Vandras is a blue type. Okay, that makes sense. So for green type buffers, I guess he's not that bad. Okay, yeah, he's a good character, guys. He's a good character, but once again, you don't really want to summon for him. And then if you take a look at Yuno, I think a lot of people will actually see the charm of Yuno as well as I do, because Yuno is a character that just helps with silence. I really love the silence ability. So if taking a look at skill 1, if an enemy is afflicted with silence or total silence, there is a 50% chance to grant self a 20% increased mobility buff. That's actually pretty good, but it's only to himself. Taking a look at his skill 2, it's an AoE, so there's a 30% chance to inflict silence on an enemy for 2 turns, and if you level this up, you can increase that chance to 40 and 50. So the 50% chance to inflict silence, it's an AoE. I don't actually, maybe I don't like that as much now. It's only 50%, which isn't that high. I think if it was like 70%, I would absolutely love it, but you know what, it's skill 2. I guess this is fine. And if you take a look at his special skill, inflicts total silence on an enemy. This is single target. You can specifically aim at the enemy you want to silence, and then inflicts taunts on an enemy for one turn. Inflicts a 20% reduced mobility debuff on an enemy as well. This is actually pretty good for PvP. And then if you take a look at his combination attack, it's also a single attack, and then it inflicts total silence to an enemy for 1 turn. So this is guaranteed silence. Now silence is very strong. So I actually do like this, but I'm actually slightly disappointed with his skill 2 only having a 50% chance to inflict silence, and you technically have to level this all the way to level 5 before you get that 50% chance. So I can't lie, not really enjoying that too much, but however, you can see how useful this is going to be in PvP. If you take a look at his unique passive, if all allies have the power attributes, grant self a 20% increased mobility buff. Now, to grant himself a mobility buff, you want him to move fast. The reason why is because you want to silence as fast as possible, and if you silence, it basically stops the opponent from doing their abilities. If you get him duped up twice, it basically becomes upon attacking an enemy afflicted with silence or total silence, grants self an SP +2 buff, which will be great. Now the issue with him is like you won't be this is useful if you want to like take your time with PvP. He isn't going to help you deal like insane amount of damage. It's just going to help you slowly break down the enemy, which is actually quite decent. But once again, I don't think you need him. I don't think he's like, yo, without this character you can't do PvP. He's very strong, like in terms of like the silence and total silence. That's actually a pretty good ability, but honestly not as strong as like other must-have characters in my opinion. So honestly, skip. And Langris as well, probably a skip as well. So I'm not even probably, it's a definite skip. Now once again, we know that Asta is coming up very soon. Other characters that you might want to go ahead and summon for is like Fauna. Where's Fauna? Fauna Hateful, you might want to summon for her in the future. She should be coming in March as well. We also have the season 6 ceremony characters that I actually think, actually no, you don't really need to summon because you can just select the character you want. Is there any other season 6 character that is worth getting? Magna is good for PvP, but it's usually for like the burn meta, isn't it? Yeah, it's the burn meta. And well, it does have this spell barrier, which is actually quite good as well for PvP. But I think Magna is worth getting if you have Figolian as well. But I honestly would just say like summon for Black Asta, I guess. But do know that with Black Asta, you want to get Queen of Witches as well. She's probably coming out in March as well. And I think Black Asta is pretty good. I've made 2 videos on him talking about why you might want to summon, why you shouldn't summon. So go ahead and check out that video. But in the case of Langris and Yuno, it's a skip. They're good characters, but just skippable at the current moment due to, I guess you could say, lack of resources, because too many banners are coming out, and essentially you can potentially pull them in future festival banners, because festival banners or like limited banners like Asta and Julius banner has a higher rate for off-banner characters compared to the characters you're really summoning for. So maybe in the future you will be able to pull all these characters that unfortunately you had to skip out on. But yeah, it is my advice to skip on Langris and Yuno. Both strong characters or decent characters, but at the current moment there's better characters to go ahead and save for. It's been your boy AC Gamer. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm out.